Hey, it's me, Tay. Want to have like a couch convo? Yeah, these are my couch convos. Even though I'm not at my couch, I'm at my desk. What is this, a desk discussion? I don't know. It's something cute. The point is that just me talking, expressing my thoughts. This is the mind space. On my website, I have a blog portion, which is called the mind space, and it's pretty much basically where I'll be writing and talking, just like I am with the video. I'll probably expand more on those in word form. Today, I wanted to talk about how we are multifaceted beings, right? And so I have my notes here to the side, so if you see me skirt over, that's why. Can't remember everything, that's why you gotta write shit down, okay? So in life, everybody has their own lives, right? We live lives for ourselves, and if we have a family, we're not really, that's kind of different. You have to live life for yourself, but also keep those you love and care for in mind. But in life, growing up, just going experiencing, you're not really meant to stay in one spot. You're not really supposed to, not supposed, but you're you change. Change is everywhere. It's everything. It's going to happen whether you like it or not. And usually it's for the better in some sort of way. It just depends on how you can observe it, and what you take from the experience, right? We are meant to change and evolve as people and not really stick to a certain aspect of ourselves. We're meant to, go through life, explore, learn about ourselves through either self reflection or going through experiences and taking the lessons from those experiences, or we come across things and whatever we like or enjoy, we take it along with us. We take what we need and leave the rest. Eventually, we become this culmination of these things that are best suited for ourselves. At least, let me not speak for everybody, but for me at least, this is what I feel like I am meant to do, right? Just explore, learn about myself, and become a culmination of all these different aspects and things and beliefs and habits and patterns that overall is the best version of myself, basically. It can be difficult based upon certain factors. Um, it's ultimately you. It all comes down to yourself. But there can be things like external influences, responsibilities, like having a job that takes up a lot of your time to the point where you don't feel like going after things that you truly want to enjoy. You put a lot of other people's opinions and values over your own, and so you're basically living life based on what they want for you rather than what you want for yourself. Just simply not believing that you can achieve what you want in life, and therefore you don't even go after it, or you don't even do the things that it takes to get there because it doesn't feel great in the moment. It doesn't seem fun. Um, Not everything is fun. You can try to convince yourself that things are fun, makes things fun for you. You can make your job enjoyable by being enjoyable, right? Or you can make your job fun by being fun, cracking jokes, um, just doing little things that can make the experience better for you, right? So you're not just stuck complaining about it, but not doing anything about it, or just not really being grateful for the position you're in, because there's always somebody who's in a worse position or would want what you have, and they really don't take the time to see the value in things, or just how good you have it until you don't have it. So for me, before, getting to this point here, I was very much somebody who valued other people's thoughts and opinions and their ideas of how life should be lived over my own. Like I said, I've always wanted to be in the arts in some type of way. Like, I would act, I would dance, I would be very entertaining for my family as a child. And over time, that just stopped. But I was always someone who wrote stories, who wrote books, who would draw, who would make comic books, things like that. Like, art has always been something that's been a part of me. And I received, some support with that. But when it came to like pursuing a career or something, or going into college or something like that, I wanted to go either into the arts or do something that included the arts, like STEAM. But at the time, it was mainly like just arts, until I could just find something that was a good fit for myself. And there wasn't much support there. And instead of just going, well, this is my life, I'm going to choose to follow what I feel is best for me and do what it takes to get to that point, I listened to everyone else, and I allowed myself to shut all of those creative passions down. Just didn't bother with it. And it led to a lot of inner turmoil, right? To the point where it was affecting my relationships around me, things like that. And it's not just like me not going to school for art or me not pursuing art. It's the general sense of me going by life through other people's beliefs and rules rather than cultivating my own and living life for myself based on my truth that will evolve over time as I live my own life. That was me for a while, for some years. And one big catalyst that I will say should not be, I'm not going to say what should and shouldn't be, because I don't have I can't determine that for another person. But I do feel like for myself, it should not take me having a child to have these change of perspectives, but it did. So when I had my child, because I'm a mom, you change a lot. You change a lot because you're creating life and you're about to raise a whole person. And so there's a lot of things that you think about that you don't really think about when you don't have kids, or when you're child free, not going to have kids, things like that. You start thinking about what values or what advice, what guidance would you give to your children that will help them and benefit them. So one of the things that I would like to pass down to my child is that you have the capability to create the life that you want and pursue your passions in ways. You don't have to go by what a traditional pathway of life is. Things are always changing in our society anyway, so what worked 20 years ago isn't going to work 20 years from now. You know what I mean? So always be willing to go through changes, to adapt, to learn about yourself and figure out what is best for you. And don't allow what people say or people think, or what people do to you, whether it's positive or negative. It can be either or. What it comes down to is you figuring yourself out and figuring out what you want to do in life and going after it, being disciplined with it, challenging yourself to grow and to evolve and just be the person you'd like to be. I want to tell my kid these things, right? However, I don't just want to tell my kid these things. I want to embody these things, because it's like, who are you to tell somebody what to do and not be a walking example of following that advice or those values? Be the values that you have adapted for yourself in your life, right? So that's what I'm doing. Like, I want my kid to become the best version of himself, right? But he has to see that. He has to see examples of that. Ultimately, it's going to be his life. He's going to make choices that I may or may not agree with. And at the end of the day, I'm just doing the best that I can as a mother, as a parent, to guide him in the best way possible. Having a child really pushed me into that direction of, okay, I really gotta get myself together. I really gotta figure myself out. I really have to not care so much about others way more than I care about myself, or valued myself, or value what I want, or my truth, right? I would dismiss myself a lot for the sake of others, just so I wouldn't ruffle feathers or I wouldn't lose support. It was me. Like, that was all on me, because I didn't have to do all that, right? So my point is, and who is this for? This is for, it can be for anybody, anyone, really. Those who struggle with going after the life that they want, who struggle with pursuing passions, who are just so stuck with working a 9 to 5 and just bogged down by responsibilities and just working all the time that you don't even bother having fun, or you don't even bother trying to make time to create a life that you can enjoy, or even bother trying to really cultivate joy within yourself in your life. I feel like that's very important, because you have a right to actually love your life. So why don't you do the things that will have you love your life? Be the person that you would love to be. That's really it. I mean, this is the mind space. Sometimes I have rambles. I had some notes here, and I basically said everything. I basically said everything that was on my mind lately, for sure. And I will say that, it's a struggle for me. It's very different. It's very different. It's very new. There's times where I would be like, oh, I feel anxious doing this. I feel anxious doing that. Like, just feeling very uncomfortable, because I've been in my comfort zones for so long, and it like, that's not it. We don't want to just stay in a certain place when there's room for growth, and there's always room for growth. So yeah, like, me talking like this, me making art, more often, um, planning projects, making time to really do the things that really interest me and that I like and love. And doing this, making the decision to do all of this and making it a big deal that I do this. I do struggle with organizing and I have to organize better. Um, there are some things that I have to learn in the long run too, such as socializing and networking and things of that nature. But I am proud of myself of where I've gotten so far, right? Just acknowledge the good, acknowledge the things, because you're not going to get anywhere just complaining about it and not being grateful for where you are at the moment. If you're at rock bottom, be grateful that you're at rock bottom because you can work your ways up from there, and be grateful that you can be aware and be and acknowledge the fact that you know where you're at life, and you know where you want to be, and just create a plan and steps to get to that place. Not everything's going to be fun, sunshine and roses, but you know what? It's up to you. It's up to yourself. It's always been up to you. I hope someone will come across this video and be like, "Oh, I feel similar. I can relate to this." If not, then it's whatever. I'm just able to put out these words, things that's been on my mind, and I write about, and I just wonder, if there's anyone out there who feels the same. So, think that is it. That is all. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace. Go do what you love. Go create the life you want for yourself. Okay? Bye.